way to keep my New Year's resolutions is to set goals. Countless studies have shown this. People who set goals achieve far more than people who don't. However, a secondary study out in the US showed that those people who actually write those goals down, as opposed to the ones that don't, are twice as likely to succeed in achieving those goals. Now, I'm going to be pulling that tyre the entire length of the UK, around 850 miles. I'm going to be doing that in approximately 4.5 months' time. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how I set my goals, how I achieve those goals. I want you to use this method, and in so doing, let's make this the best year ever. Just before I take you through the simple steps you need to do to achieve your New Year's resolutions, I just want to quickly explain the 3 main reasons people don't achieve their New Year's resolutions. This will not happen to you if you follow this simple process. The first one is time. People say they don't have any time. Resources. People say they don't have enough resources. And last but not least, motivation. They are the 3 main reasons people give for not keeping their New Year's resolutions. However, this is not going to happen to you because you're going to follow this guide. You may have heard of a system called SMART goal setting. It's one that I use for my basis. However, I amended it considerably because I felt that several things were missing from there, very important bits that meant, sadly, you failed at the goals rather than succeeded. So to start off, you've got a spreadsheet in front of you. And what's in this spreadsheet is important, not what it looks like. However, let me just run through this very quickly. Top right-hand corner, it is called 2023 personal goals. This basically means these goals are annual. Across the top, we've got the weeks, exactly the weeks during the year, actions and trackable measurable items. And down the side, and this is where I want to start straight away, these are my goals. Point number 1, you need to be specific about your goals. What do I mean about specific? Well, for example, the top one is raise £300,000 for charity. Now, I originally said I want to raise money for charity. However, that's not specific. What is specific is that I want to raise £300,000 for charity, and because these are annual goals, within a year. That's a very specific goal. Now, the next one is increase my social media by 10,000 followers. Increase my fitness to expedition level. They're very specific as to what I want these goals to achieve. Now, I'll also show you this regarding goals as well. I break these goals down further. For example, the raise £300,000 for charity, there's several things that need to fall into place for that to happen. I need to sign a contract with the charity. I need to get logos and the text and the information from the charity to be able to promote it. I need to set up a GoFundMe page to collect the money for the charity. I'm going to be promoting this on my social media. I'm going to be promoting it to general media. These are very specific goals that I've set myself to raise the 300k for charity. So, point number 1, be specific about your goals. Step 2 is write your goals down. As you heard right at the start of this, you're twice as likely to succeed with your goals if you write them down. On the left hand side, I have written my goals down, and as you can see, as I'm opening them up now, I've actually broken those goals down further, and they are very, very specific. So step 2 is write your goals down. Step 3, the goals need to be measurable. Now that is, they need to be measurable or trackable. So for example, a goal needs to have a specific time limit for it to happen and exactly what it is you're going to achieve within that time limit. So let's take my goal here, pulling a tyre from John O'Groats to Land's End. One of the parts of the goal is to complete the challenge. Now I'm going to be doing this challenge in sometime in April through May of 2023. Now, for example, I put it down in week 16 of April that I need to complete 140 miles within that week pulling that tyre. In week 2, I need to have completed 280 miles. In week 3, I need to have completed 420 miles. And this goes on until I've completed the full 850 miles I need to do to complete the challenge from John O'Groats to Land's End. So therefore these are trackable. I can track my progress over time during these weeks, exactly how I'm getting on to completing this goal. So step 3, goals need to be measurable. Step 4, you have to make the goals actionable. What does that actually mean? Well, let's go and look back at the raising £300,000 for charity. One part of the goal was sign a contract with the charity. Now in week 1 of January, I want to recontact the charity because it's been Christmas and I haven't been in contact for a while. And in week 2, I want to agree the exact terms. And by week 3, I want to have signed the contract. What that is, actionable steps over a specific period to make sure I complete these goals. Another example, for example, is the set up a GoFundMe page. I'm going to start setting this up in the 2nd week of January. I'm going to finish it by the 3rd week of January and launch it on the 4th week of January. They are very actionable steps that have been put in within the goals to make sure I complete those goals. So step 4, make the goals actionable. Step 5, make your goals achievable. Now what this actually really means is look at your present circumstances and see if you're able to achieve the goals you've written down. For example, I've got to drag a tyre from John O'Groats to Land's End this year. Now if I said I'm going to do that next week, it's very unlikely I'm going to achieve that. 1, because I wouldn't be fit enough, but there's many other factors as well. So when is it achievable? Well, it's achievable in April, May of this year because I know with setting the plans that I will be fit enough to do it then. I also know I've got the time to do it and I've got the money, resources to do it as well. So I've checked all those things out. You need to make it, they are achievable within the time and resources you actually have. Now, a very important step here, and this is the most important step of all of this, is you need to transfer your actionable goals into your diary to check you have the time to achieve these. Time is the biggest reason people fail at New Year's resolutions. Now, for example, pulling the tyre from John O'Groats to Land's End. Promote to media. In the 1st week of January, I want a full list of more, and with including more influences of media. I also want to sort my kit list out. Now, if I look at my diary for the 1st week of January, down here, you will see increase media, start sponsor list. They are here already. I've put them in a specific time of Monday, the 2nd of January to do these specific items. Now, as I say, this is very important. You need to transfer your actionable items from here. You need to transfer them into the diary you use. Because if you don't, what actually happens is you'll find that you've got them in this lovely spreadsheet, what you're going to do, but actually your diary doesn't allow you the time to complete what you said you're going to do. And that's why you need to amend things if you don't. As I say, it's the biggest thing with working with coaches throughout my life is that this bit never happens. You get a lovely spreadsheet, but you never transfer the actionable items you have actually into your diary and when you're going to do them. So step 5, make the goals achievable. And whatever you do, transfer the actionable items from those goals into your diary. 6, make your goals relevant. This basically means you want to align them with the values you have and your long-term goals. Now, I'm on my YouTube channel here, Resetting Your Compass. And in here, I'm basically doing a live journey of what I really want to do. And that is to become the world record holder for a solo trek to the South Pole unaided. Now, that goal is aimed for 2024. And what you'll notice is all the goals I presently have on my personal goals 2023 all align with that overall goal of what I want to do. For example, getting a charity on board. That charity will be taken to the South Pole as well with me. Increase my social media so they get more presence on there. Increase my fitness to expedition level, which I'm going to need for the South Pole. The pulling of the tyre simulates the sledge pulling to the South Pole. Signing commercial sponsors to pay for the South Pole and raising the £125,000 funds I'm going to need to get to the South Pole. What it's all about is aligning what you're doing now for the longer term for what you really want to do. That is crucial because there's no point in doing lots of different things here and there that don't really get you to your overall goal, which is going to be several years down the line. So, step 6, make sure your goals are relevant. Step 7, time bound. That basically means every goal has to have a deadline. Now, the overall goal will have a larger deadline. However, the smaller goals will have a weekly or even a monthly deadline, or even maybe a daily deadline. It all depends on exactly what the deadlines are. But the great thing with deadlines is it means you get the task done and you're one step closer to achieving that overall goal. Now, in the example I've got on the screen, for example, increasing my social media. I want to increase my social media for YouTube to 10,000 followers and 10,000 followers for Twitter. Now, on the first week of January, my deadline is to have my YouTube at over 1,356 subscribers and my Twitter to be over 900 followers. These are very specific deadlines for that specific goal. And as soon as I hit them, I'm one step closer to hitting the 10,000 I want to by the end of the year. So, step 7, time bound. Step 8, review. You should review your goals, folks. There's no buts about this. You need to do it weekly or worst case scenario, monthly. Now, in the spreadsheet I've got in front of me, you can see because I've got it down weekly with the actual tasks, it's very easy to look down every single week and see how I'm doing. Now, I add an extra layer to this that's not necessary, but I think it works for myself. And that is I color code my spreadsheet respectfully with yellows, greens, oranges, reds, and grays. Now, the grey just simply means it's an actionable task. Nothing's actually happened with it. I put it in this spreadsheet. I haven't done anything else with it, but it's there and it's already organized. Yellow, however, means I've transferred it to my diary. So I know, for example, to contact the charity, I've already put that in my diary, so I know I can definitely achieve it. The great thing is, if I'm looking at this weekly, I will then put week 2, say for example it's week 1, I will then put week 2, 3 and 4 in the diary during the review. And I'll keep doing that again and again and again. The great thing is, because life changes around, you can move things around as required to make sure you can fulfill all your actionable goals. Orange, by the way, will be something that I've started but not yet complete. For example, I may well have sent an email or called somebody to get something done, but they haven't come back to me yet, so I can't complete the task. It would go down as orange. Green, basically I've hit that goal. And as you'll see in front of you already, because I've been working quite hard over Christmas, I've actually hit several of my targets already before this even begins, which is awesome news because it gives you a great sense of achievement that you've already done something before you've even started it. Question there is, do I change those goals? I could do. And last but not least, red, sadly. If I don't achieve a goal, then I would put it in red. And what I would then need to do is work out how I'm then going to achieve that goal if something's gone wrong. And life will throw you curveballs, don't worry. It will throw you curveballs, and you won't always complete every single task. However, because you've got it in front of you, you're reviewing it, you can then move that task, change it as required to make sure you do achieve it. So step 8, critical, review your goals. Step 9, accountability. Basically what this means is you need to have somebody else that you're accountable to say that you've achieved these goals. A lot of people use close friends or family and they tell them exactly what you're doing and when you're doing it by. Even share the spreadsheet, for example, of your goals. And what that means is you can tell them, I've actually accomplished this, I've done this, I've done that, and therefore you become accountable. Personally, I use social media, my YouTube channel, Resetting Your Compass. I actually do a weekly video showing exactly how I'm getting on and what goals I'm achieving. It's personal preference. Whatever you do need to have somebody that you're accountable to, and it'll give you a far better chance of succeeding in your goals. So that is step 9, accountability. Let's conclude how to keep my New Year's resolutions, the 9-step guide. Number 1, you need to make specific goals. You need to write these goals down. You need to make these goals measurable. You need to make actionable points to achieve these goals. You need to make the goals achievable. You need to make them relevant to where you are now in life. You need to make them time bound. You need to have that deadline. You need to review them regularly. And you need to be held accountable. If you do all those 9 steps, you will achieve your New Year's resolutions. So come on, let's make this your best year ever.